artBOS, Episode 2, inside the gallery that felt too perfect. The gallery didn't feel dangerous. That's the part that still bothers me. If it had felt sketchy, if the lights flickered, if the walls were cluttered with desperation, if the owner talked too fast or avoided eye contact, I might have clocked it. I might have slowed down, but the gallery felt orderly, intentional, like someone had thought very carefully about what you should notice and what you shouldn't. The gallery sat just off Hanover, close enough to the river of tourists that foot traffic was guaranteed, far enough removed that people felt like they'd discovered it. The windows were big, clean, always spotless. No flyers taped to the glass. No loud signage. Just the name, small and confident, like it didn't need to explain itself. Inside, the air was cooler than the street. Not cold, just calm. The kind of temperature control that makes you exhale without realizing you were holding your breath. That first week, Adriana moved me through the space like a proud homeowner giving a tour. "This one's from a local photographer," she'd say, gesturing with her hands like they were dancing. "That one's already sold. Don't touch that. Actually, go ahead, you can touch that." She talked constantly about collectors, about tourists, about the scene, about how Boston didn't understand its own artists, about how she truly did. Her voice filled the room so completely that silence never had a chance to ask questions. I learned quickly that Adriana didn't curate so much as conduct. She orchestrated conversations the way a bartender manages a crowded room, knowing when to lean in, when to step back, when to laugh, when to let a pause do the work. Tourists came in wide-eyed, already halfway convinced they were about to buy culture. Adriana met them where they were. Something small for the wall. Something bold for the living room. "Oh honey, that's perfect for a hallway. People linger in hallways." Locals came in quieter, more cautious. They looked longer, asked fewer questions. Adriana treated them differently. Less sparkle, more respect, sometimes even deference. I watched all of it from behind the desk, absorbing lessons I didn't know I was taking. That's when I started noticing the textures. At first, it was just curiosity. I'd lean in close when the gallery was empty, nose almost brushing the surface of a piece. The gloss was thick, thicker than it needed to be, pooled in corners, slightly uneven if you caught it at the right angle. Some pieces were paintings. You could tell by the smell alone. Oil has a warmth to it, a softness even when it's dry. Others were photographs mounted on canvas, sealed under layers of clear coat until they mimicked brushstrokes. Clever, convincing. If you didn't know what you were looking for, you'd never question it. Innovation, Adriana called it. I believed her. At night, after closing, she'd pour herself a martini from a bottle she kept in the back and hand me a ginger ale like we were co-workers instead of employer and unpaid intern. "You're learning fast, honey," she'd say, sliding a stack of receipts into a drawer I never opened. "Most kids don't get this stuff." Sometimes she'd talk about my show like it was already a done deal. "We'll do it big," she said once, eyes gleaming. "You deserve that, honey." Deserve? My own show. I thought about the rejection letters. In my second week, she slid a key across the bar we were at, an Italian place across the street. "You're opening tomorrow." I stared at it. The metal was warm from her hand. "Really?" "Sure," she said. "If you're gonna be my assistant, you should start running the place." The way she said running stuck with me. The next morning, I arrived before the sun had fully cleared the rooftops. The street smelled like bread and yesterday's trash. Bakers were already moving. Someone hosed down a doorway nearby, water rushing toward a drain like it had somewhere to be. I unlocked the door. The gallery was quiet in a way it never was during the day. The walls felt closer. A hollow echo filled the space. I stood there for a long moment, keys still in my hand, trying to feel what success was supposed to feel like. I opened the register, straightened the desk, adjusted a frame that didn't need adjusting. When Adriana arrived, she looked pleased, not surprised, pleased. "Everything looks wonderful," she said, glancing around like she already knew it would. That day, she put me on the computer. "I need these photos to look like paintings," she said, pulling up a folder. Soft edges, texture, like a memory of a painting. I worked for hours, retouching, layering, mimicking imperfection digitally. When she came back to check, she smiled. These are even better than my last assistant. I didn't ask where the last assistant went. At the end of the day, she showed me what happened next. The images were printed, glued to canvas, sealed under gloss. The transformation was quick, practiced, not experimental, refined. I felt a small twist in my stomach. How many of these are? I stopped myself. Adriana didn't look up. Does it matter, honey? I didn't answer because I didn't know yet. That was the first time I understood something important about the gallery. The gallery wasn't hiding what it did. It was assuming you wouldn't ask. That afternoon, Adriana handed me a wrapped piece. I need you to make a delivery. I hesitated for half a second, long enough to feel it, not long enough to stop it. Sure, I said. As I walked out into the heat, canvas under my arm, the city was constant, patient.